What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, this is the devil here. I think I'll call this my heel persona. Whenever there's stuff going on, the devil will be coming out to play and causing havoc wherever he may roam. But nonetheless, I'm sure this has been a long time coming for some people. And I'm giving that individual the opportunity to, you know, maybe not have people believe that he is a creep. And of course, I am talking about the awful tweaker. That's my new name. Hey, Cherry, how are you doing? I'm not going for. He's also known as Boar, but I call him the awful tweaker because he's awful and he rocks back and forth like a tweaker. I see plenty of those downtown. I see plenty of boars downtown. But I have. Oh, if you want my thoughts, I'm going to give them tomorrow on my podcast, just FYI. But anyway, so of course, this individual has had some issues. He's been having issues with me for the longest time. And no, the awful tweaker or bore, whatever you want to call him. Of course, the man who is known for, having dirty pictures of Nick in a group chat. Exactly. I wanted to kind of, I guess you would say, prove a point because, take something, an idea, if you will, even though one-on-one is not really unique to his little group. But just take the idea, make it better. That's exactly what I'm doing right here. And unlike him and his little group, I'm going to actually keep it one-on-one. And if the stream is over, I'm not going to invite anybody in. Basically, this link is for the awful tweaker, no one else. And if you try joining, I will not let you in if you're not the awful tweaker. Even an impersonator, I will not let in. And as well, he will have 30 minutes. I'll give him till 30 minutes starting now. He'll have that time. And if, he has the opportunity to come in, I do not have him blocked, so he can come in. But let's talk about him for a moment, shall we? Oh, and by the way, this stream will be private afterwards because, just want to prove a point. Of course, he has an issue with he's had issues with me calling him a creep, but yes, he's a tweaker, basically. That's why he's called the awful tweaker. But shout out to Bio, though. He came up with, it was an EDP Junior or something like that when he was naming Ratwan. That's another name I could refer. But I guess I'll give my opinion on that because I didn't really say too much about that situation. But as far as Ratwan goes, I've always said this. He's a legitimate pretend tough guy. He will go talk all shit, but then he'll avoid situations because of his health conditions. And that's, he's like, oh, I got this, I got worried about that and the other and all that. It's like, fuck. You ain't wrong with that. But yeah, he says, oh, I can't be either because of my health and all that. I'm thinking, dude, you talk a lot of shit, and yet whenever anybody says anything, you're fucking all that. But it's just the whole situation with that. It's you can't talk. If you're able to talk to shit, then you're able to accept the repercussions. But you go run and play victim. So I've never taken it seriously. But I will give Ratwan this. There was one time where I gave him praise. You know, we had a very nice private conversation a couple of months back. And I will, like, of course, him, like others, succumb to peer pressure. But we actually had a nice conversation. I kind of like that version of him, but could never really trust him. Like, I don't know who has the bigger heart on for Lennon, him or, well, Crybaby. I guess I'll go back to calling him that. That one for you, Joker. But anyway, back to the awful speaker, because I know he's probably aware of this stream because he's either got his simpletons around him, or he's watching right now and not joining, even though the stream is still up there. Just FYI. I know what he's probably gonna say. Well, I don't want to join this stream because I don't want to get owned, and I just don't want to fuck with it. If you don't want to talk about anybody, then why mention it? So it's just the idea of why do it when you realize that you can't handle the blowback, plain and simple. So, but let's go back, because of course maybe some people forgot that this guy was notorious. He was basically a bounty hunter of pictures, going to social media pictures. And hey, we all live in a social media age. We have our pictures up there, yada yada yada. The first and foremost that, but this guy would get like probably, and this, because we only got like the gist of it, probably hundreds of pictures of other men that he uses. And some people say, well, Chayton, you have pictures too. 1, 2 that I've used for jokes every so often, but usually it's a one and done type thing. Like, however, with you just use every single picture that you could find of anything and try to do your imitations. Like you're basically the Joker, and you'll never be the Joker. You're a wannabe pretend Joker. Let's just be real here. But the fact remains is that actually I'm running into somebody. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Ran into an old friend of mine, and what do you know? I gotta give him credit. Let me make sure. Yep, it is him. Surprisingly, he is here. So, ladies and gentlemen, the awful tweaker.
I'm here.
So, I'm actually shocked that, well, I'll give you this much. I wasn't expecting it, so I'll give you some type of props for that.
Yeah, because
Yep.
somebody sent me a link to the video.
Oh, don't they all? Not saying I'm like that's usually how it happens. Nobody ever. And I did it. I promoted it on my Discord. That was it. The only person I know that's in my Junko's been good. So, but yeah, only person that I know is in the group is Junko. So, but that's usually what happens. Okay. Well, we finally have our one-on-one like you want. So, okay. I guess I got to ask you. After all this time, after all the kind of everything going on, I got to ask you your main problem with me. I got a
My
few
main
questions
issue.
now. Your main issue, yes.
My main.
And before you say, I'll give you the time to speak. I'll mute myself. I'm not going to try to interrupt you as much. I apologize in advance. Trying to be fair and respectful for this matter. But the main issue is something that happened a year ago. That's what everybody says. I want you to hear your something that is current, your current issue with me, like something that mostly everybody else has moved on from, if you have one. So I will let you speak. I will mute my mic, and you can go ahead.
Well, my main issue is being brought up.
Being brought up, what do you mean, recently or just in general, like in the past, ever since that whole thing with the screenshots?
Recently.
So why does it? So let me ask you, because usually 9 times out of 10, I more respond to anything. Like besides giving Hero criticism recently, which he can't handle, and I don't care what anybody says, that's the truth. But besides that, usually my things have been regarding whether it's been the screenshots which happened this year, and or anything that you say in response to things that doesn't concern you. Like one time, I remember, what was it? I was informed about what was it? The art when I was on Arts streams. I remember you had to open your mouth and say, "Oh well, what's he doing?" I'm like, "What is it your business?" If I'm on Arthur's stream, I'm like, "That's my business, not yours." Now, as far as recently, like if you're referring to in the last week, now I'm not going to mention that name regarding, you know who I'm talking about, but that person who, of course, was in the chat during the Elder stream, and I criticized the, like, basically because with that individual, what y'all did. I know you deleted the video. I heard about that, and I actually, whoever deleted it, I give them props. However, I do feel like it was because when I said something, because let's be honest here, I think that video would still be up if I didn't say anything. Now, regarding that, what Hero said earlier actually is a good point towards why I brought you up in that whole situation, was because that person, that individual, craves for attention. So whatever he will try to do anything, whether it's talk about likes or subscribers or whatever the fuck, whatever fuck he's trying to get, or let bygones be bygones, what have you. Okay, this is expected. I heard about what he said, and I didn't care enough to discuss it because of the fact that I had no reason to. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Give him what he wants with attention. So I told Adam, and I'll tell you this. Honestly, y'all fell for his trap because of the fact that he wants attention. He will do whatever it is, and whoever gives it to him falls for his trap. I had this discussion with Adam Meerga. I'm not talking bad about Adam right now, but the point of the matter is with that was my current issue, because instead of making basically paying tribute about Elder, you had to turn it back around to drama, even though the point of the matter is, you know, it shouldn't have been about what this fucker was saying in the chat. Who gives a shit? What, like he's a piece of shit. He's blackballed. He's blacklisted. Whatever fuck you want phrase you want to use to describe him. But he's persona non grata. Whatever he does is his business, and you know, that's just how it is. So if that is your current issue with me, because I was actually trying to get the focus back on the person who needed the focus on, which is the celebration and mourning of Elder, then honestly, that was a fucked up reason. Because honestly, how, like, you may say, I'll say this, you may say that you had good intentions of what you were doing. I had good intentions of what I was doing. It's just the fact that we have different ideologies with that. Care to retort? What did you say? You cut out for a second.
I said I did have an issue with that before.
You didn't have an issue with that before?
No, I said I did.
Oh, you didn't have an issue with that before. Sorry, you were cutting in and out for a second.
No, I was saying I did.
Oh, you had an issue with that. With what I said about you regarding that whole situation regarding that individual with and the elders thing?
Yeah.
But let me ask you, why, like, knowing that this person wants attention, and basically, and again, you get mad at me saying this, but like sheep, you fell for the trap. Instead of talking about the elder situation, instead it was about this motherfucker, basically. You see how easy it is for me not to bring up the person by name? You know, not basically to get my point across, but not having to do it. And I don't like to bring him up. The only reason why I'm bringing him up is situations like these. I already had this talk with Adam a couple of days ago. So basically, if that is your issue, because we have different ideologies, because we were, both of us in a way, we're trying to do good, just your way was misguided. I'm just going to be frank with you. Your way was misguided because you took the attention away, whether you were privy to it or not. You took the attention away from that and made it about that person. So I don't know if you can understand what I was like, the verbiage I'm saying to you, but that's a, oh, hey, true. But that is the point at hand I'm trying to recall. So now, do you have anything to retort to that before I move on to the next subject?
No.
All right. Because since I finally have you and I can actually ask you this instead of just going through my own opinion and the opinion of others, let me ask you, why do you have, and I know you ain't the only one, so I'm not just going to single you out, but why, but due to the fact that these were sent in that group chat, why did you have so many pictures of other men that you don't like in your, whether it's your phone storage and all that? Because again, these messages with all these pictures were from your account, from the screenshots I was provided with back in the spring. So why have so many of those pictures of just single, like one man and so many pictures of another man? Again, I'm not like, whether or not you have a crush on people, that's irrelevant, and whether or not that you are bisexual or gay or whatever the fuck, like if you are, that's fine. I support that. But I just want to know, because that is very, very creepy. And I know that bothered you too. So I want to know from your opinion, from your stance, why?
Well, how it all started, because they were because before they were making fun of people's looks, so I guess what I was doing is making fun of their looks.
Well, okay, okay. Now it's still like taking so many pictures is still kind of doesn't justify that, but I could see where your intentions were at the beginning. I'll give you that. But here's something I'll throw at you real quick. By basically lowering yourself to their standards, whether it's me or whether it's in other people in the past, where they've made fun of somebody's looks, what have you. Like, did this thought ever come to mind that by you doing that, you're basically lowering yourself to the people that you despise or you don't like?
Kinda.
Yeah, by you doing that, you like like for instance, I'm not, like Hero said in the stream earlier, I'm not a saint. Shit, like I'm not going to say that I'm perfect or anything. And yeah, I've taken pictures in the past. I'm not going to deny that. Do I do it all the time, or do I do it in like go and download constant photos? No. But like, so that was like, I guess when people were trying to say that I've done the same thing, I'm like, no, I haven't, or no, not that anybody I know does that, because at least in my circles, because I would even find that very creepy. That's basically, if you really think about it, even though it is public information in some cases, that is a form of stalking. Be the same thing as if I did that to you. If I took all like 30 of your photos, that is kind of stalkerish, because you're taking time out of your day to scroll down and find pictures. Because trust me, it is not. I'm like, I know for a fact, especially for me, I have a lot of fucking pictures. So you be there for a while if you're trying to get a lot of photos of myself, for example. I don't know about anybody else, but for example, for myself, you'd be doing that for a long time if you're getting a lot of pictures. But again, the point of the matter is that something I know, Hero, your boy Hero says, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And you're basically, by doing that, due to you going after them, you are lowering yourself to that thing. Like when you've talked about the live with your moms and saying that's overplayed. Okay, I can't argue with that. I even admit that's an overplayed insult. I'm guilty of making those jokes. But I can't agree with you with that, because you're not really lowering yourself. You're more just talking about the fact that that's an overused joke. That's where, if you have a problem with someone, that's where you should be doing, instead of going and just talking all this, like taking these pictures and putting them on there, or sending them to a group page. Like, again, like no matter what, I still find that fucking creepy, because it's the amount of photos, not the fact that you took them. It's the amount that you took. Like, example, on my phone, most of the things you'll see is myself, a picture of myself, picture with somebody I know, like me and someone, or maybe movie posters or gameplay clips, screenshots, what have you, like screenshots of fucking posters or whatnot, what have you. I don't even take time. Like there are a few times I will admit that I take screenshots from like comment sections and send it to somebody that may want to see it. But again, it's rare, because I don't care about that, like the internet, as much as others. Let me ask you a question. It's kind of turning into a therapy session, but you know what? I'm going to try to be fair and not just talk shit. I'm going to actually ask you questions. You actually had the balls to come in here, so I give you props for that. Some people in your group do not have the balls to show themselves when they're being called out, so at least I'll give you that. But what do you do outside of here? What do you do in your free time? Because I know, like, from what I've seen over the good amount of time I've known you, whether it's been, I think, since 2020, I can't remember exactly when I first met you, but you've been on the internet a lot, and you take a lot of time with a lot of stuff you do, whether it's the images, whatnot. Because I know this from experience. When you have StreamYard, you have to remove and add photos because you only have 10 photos per profile, if you will. So what do you do in your, hey Omega, how you doing, my friend? But what do you do in your free time? What does Matthew like to do in his free time to make him happy besides YouTube?
Hang out with friends, watch TV, or hang with family, or go out.
Okay, I can respect that. I guess another question is, and this could be a big one. Why does my opinion or other opinions, whether, like, especially people, and I'll say it, someone as relevant as Arthur, when he's threatening to kill me, or where he's threatening to put a curse on me, I laugh and I move on. I don't focus all my time in making streams or calling him out or whatever else. If I need to give my opinion on a certain situation, I do. But at this point, I'm over that situation. Same with that certain individual. Same with a good amount of people. Just because it's not. So I guess my question is, why do people? Hell, I'll even say I'm irrelevant to you. We don't talk. We don't interact in streams. You know, unless we're in the comments section, but we don't interact with each other. I'm basically a nobody to you at this point. We don't interact anymore. So why does what I say or what other people say bother you so much?
I guess I take it seriously sometimes.
Okay, and I'll admit, because I'm trying to be fair here, I've taken it seriously in the past too. I've let the drama consume me at times. I'm not going to lie. I've had it happen. Nowadays, I try to find the root of the problem. Yes, I talk shit because, again, that's just my MO. I always tell people, if you don't like what I say, don't watch it. That's like with the problem with some of these videos. They send links and all this other stuff. Like, I see the links people send me about, like, something you say or something Hero says. Most of the time, I don't care. And there have been times, and I've told Hero this privately and on air, I've watched some of his stuff. The times I tune out, and this is why I was having a conversation with him a couple of weeks ago, I told him that some of the stuff he talks about I'm interested in, or whether it's on his channel or the Bastard's channel. I'm interested in some of the stuff y'all talk about. But then when it gets into me mean this guy, me mean that guy in the same stream, it's just, you know, that's why I turn off. Kind of like what we all say, if you don't like, don't watch. So a lot of times I don't watch because I expect that to happen as time goes on. Because it's never, okay, let's focus on this topic, let's talk about this topic, and then let's move on. I'm not telling you how to run your channel, but as a viewer, as someone who may want to watch and actually give positive feedback to your channel, and who actually has given you some positive feedback, I will say that. As someone who's doing that, I know you all do your own thing, I do my own thing, however way you want to put it. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, I know we've said, oh, you don't watch my content, you don't, like, the case in point is we have people around us, whether we like it or not, that send us links. Case in point, what you just told me earlier about someone sending you a link. I don't need to know who it is because it's irrelevant to the topic at hand. Same as if I don't have to tell you who sends me stuff. And 9 times out of 10, I don't ask for it. I'll ask you a question. God's honest truth. When you get notification or stream or links from people, do you ask for them, or do you just get them because people are wanting to, I guess, create some type of conflict?
It depends on what's in the chat. Like somebody sends me a link, and I click on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've been around the game a good amount of time to know that there are trolls that just live off of conflict of others. I've seen some. I've seen some that are in my chat, not currently, but I've seen some that just try to tell me, "Hey, did you hear what this person says?" 9 times out of 10, I don't care. But there are times where I actually want to get the root of the problem. Like in this case, I was like, "Well, I'm gonna follow in their footsteps. I give y'all a shout out. Follow, even though it's not an original topic. It's a one-on-one. What's up, man? But it's not an original thing. I'm just gonna be honest here. Like the one-on-one is not a Bastard's original, nor is it a me original. Let's see. Oh, of course, Dragon with the. Give me a second. Thank you. All right. So the point I'm trying to make here is that we have these people, and the best course of action is to ignore. I will admit there was always this question of mine that I never got answered about the whole picture thing. So I wanted to hear from your mouth. Whether people believe you or not is irrelevant. I will say that I could believe that you did that for that reason. It was misguided because you did too much, but it was I could see where you were coming from with that. Because let's be honest here, I've been like, especially in high school, I was a lot bigger in high school. I'll give you a little behind the scenes peek. I was made fun of in high school. I was a lot bigger than I am now. What I did was I have confidence. When I make fun of people's appearances, it's usually like knowing that I'm not the best looking motherfucker there, but I have the confidence to back it up that regardless of how I look, I know I could get whatever. Some people just don't have the confidence to do that, because if you have confidence, then you could go a long way if you put in the effort. That'd be, I guess, my little. So instead of these people getting to you, whether it's me or whether it's whoever else, what you should do, if you have the confidence in your heart to know that, man, look in the mirror and be like, my name's Matthew and I'm a sexy bitch. Look at yourself and say, fuck what everybody says. I don't need to respond to, because responding, again, is giving people what they want. By you even showing off their images. Like, I never got mad at you showing my images, because that was free promotion. That was free advertisement. Showing a picture of me sitting on a golf cart with my mustache and all that. That was free promotion. Sounded creepy, yes, but because it was screenshotted. It wasn't like a picture I took off my Facebook. But again, free promotion. So how about this? I think I've answered, unless anybody in the chat has anything else they want to say, they want to ask. How about this? I'll make you a deal. From this point forward, basically, I'll do what I've done with a few people. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. We go our separate ways, and we just, whatever I do, as long as it doesn't concern you, then leave it be. Whatever you do that doesn't concern me, I'll leave it be. Sound fair?
Yeah.
Like, whatever y'all do it privately, that's y'all's business. But as far as anything that I can literally see or somebody else can see, and vice versa, then we'll leave it at that. Now, originally was going to private this stream, but due to this little breakthrough, I'm going to keep it open to keep myself in check, and the same thing. Actually, this is a good question. Maybe you know the answer to this, and we'll leave it at this. Why does Hero care too much about what you say? I guess this is referring to me, but would you? He's not here, so I can't ask him. But why? would you possibly have an answer for that from your personal experience?
Like, yes, he doesn't like what you talked about.
Well, and I've told him this. He should, he shouldn't care what I say. Like last year, when he was talking about all this crap, saying you're going here, you're going there, blah blah. I laughed at him. I didn't take way senses because I knew more than he did. So the point is, that's why I never take him seriously. That's what he should be doing. And instead of just having to respond to every little bit I say, if I give him constructive criticism, which is what I did on Bio stream, shout out to Bio by the way, that was the point because when he does something, calls someone out for something, he's done the same thing. I That's hypocritical, and I would do the exact same thing he would do. That's call you out on the hypocrisy, not you, but you get what I mean. So, with all that being said, do you before I ended, do you have anything else you want to say?
I don't really have much to say, really. Um, I'm not. I don't want to be cool with you. I mean, I'm
I'm
more
not
like
saying we don't. I'm basically just telling you that you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. We can go back, like basically go back to our circles. I don't, honestly, despite me having this friendly conversation with you, I have no intention of ever being cool with you again, and I feel like the feeling is mutual. However, to prevent any more conflict and or drama, unnecessary drama, this is the point I was making about the whole I don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with me situation. Agreed? Agreed. So you heard it here, everybody. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with him, and vice versa. Whatever issues that don't pertain to us, we leave it be. So, with all that, I'd like to thank Matthew for coming in here and basically defending his case. And I hope you all enjoyed this little video and enjoyed everything. And with all that being said, guys, I'm going to remove you, Matthew. I'll end the stuff on my own, but you have a great rest of your night. Anyway, but y'all have a great rest of your night. Thank you to everybody for watching and enjoying the conversation. Let me get some shouts real quick. Thank you to Sherry. Thank you to Anthony. Thank you to Joker. Thank you to Anthony Choboat. I already said Anthony. Let's see. Thank you to True. Thank you to Omega. And thank you to Red Lion. So with all that being said, guys, you heard it here first. This is for the record. And I will catch y'all later. And thank you again to Matthew for showing up and having the balls to come in. So with that being said, ta-ta for now. Take care, guys.